Hello students, welcome to this video section. My name is Samuel Emeka, aka Sabdon Copies. And in this video section we shall discuss factoring. Factoring, this is an important topic in algebra. What factoring simply means is break into factors. Break into factors. So when we have a polynomial, we have done polynomials. When we multiplied polynomials, right? Like we multiplied two binomials, we used the FOIL method to multiply two binomials, right? And it gave us a trinomial. So in factoring, we want to break up that trinomial so that we can get back our two binomials. So that, please, it is important that before you view this video, that you view the videos on polynomials, or the video playlist on polynomials. It is important that you view that the videos in the playlist. Then it is also recommended, highly recommended, that you view the videos on factors and multiples, especially factors, okay? Because we shall use the greatest common factor, or GCF. So with factoring, you know, you are kind of breaking into factors. You're splitting the binomial or trinomial, okay, into factors, into its factors. And when you, after splitting it into factors, if you multiply them back, if you multiply it, you get back the original polynomial that you have. We shall go ahead and list the several methods of factoring, and we have done some of these methods on other videos as well. So we just say that factoring simply means breaking. Okay, you can say breaking or splitting. Splitting a polynomial. Okay, or you can say or an expression, an algebraic expression. Okay, or you can just say function or function into factors. That is what you mean by factoring. Split it up into factors. That is what it means. Now, you know, some folks, they prefer, like when we did a multiplication of polynomials, okay? If we did like a monomial times a binomial, that gives us a binomial, right? Now, but when we split up that binomial, we can still get back a monomial and a binomial. So let me ask you this, okay? Let me ask you this. Marriage and divorce, which one is easier? So you should answer it yourself. Marriage and divorce, you know, although it's not good to divorce, you know. You see, some people think that I know that divorce is harder. You know, marriage is kind of easier. You see, when you multiply polynomials, see it as marriage. You're joining. You know, when you multiply two polynomials, okay, you're joining them. It gives you one polynomial. Okay. But now, when you're factoring that one polynomial, you're splitting them up into factors. You're splitting it up. And that is divorce. You're splitting it up. Now, you also, that is if you're considering it with respect to marriage and divorce. Some people might say factoring is also easier than multiplying polynomials. If you kind of link it to building a house, when you get all the blocks, you build the house, and destroying the house, destroying it. Which one is easier? You see, some people might say that building is, that destroying is easier than building. So it depends on whatever way you look at it. Anyway, it depends on whatever way you look at it. But I will teach it to be easy. Just know that. I will teach it to be easy. Just look at it, you know, multiplying polynomials is joining, factoring means splitting up. Now, let's look at the several methods of factoring, the different methods of factoring. We can factor by GCF, greatest common factor. Number 2, we can factor by grouping. Number 3, we can factor by using a difference of two squares. Factoring using difference of two squares. Factor by the difference of two squares. We have done this one in videos. Difference of two squares. Then we can factor by a difference of two cubes. Difference of two cubes. We can factor by sum of two cubes. And number 6, we can factoring a quadratic trinomials. Okay, factor quadratic trinomials. Number 7, factor quartic trinomials. Quartic trinomials. So for your we have several ones also, but for your level, for your class, we are just going to learn these. Okay. Now I've done this on video. We've done this one on video. Difference of two squares. We've done difference of two cubes. We've done sum of two cubes. We've done that. We've done quadratic trinomials. So for this video, we shall do factoring by GCF. That is what we're going to do. And then you watch for other videos whereby we will do grouping and then we will do quadratic trinomials. All right, let's get started. When we factor by GCF, GCF means greatest common factor. So if you look at something like, let's say if you look at probably something like 16 and 32, okay? If you look at something like 16 and 32, you know, you can have common factors. The common factors, we have 1. Of course, 1 is a factor of everything. We have a 2. We have a 4, right? We have a 6, no, 7, no, 8. We have a 16. So these are the common factors. These are the common factors, right? But what is the greatest common factor? What is the greatest common factor? That is what we are interested in. A common means it is a factor of 16 and it is also a factor of 32. That is common, okay? It's common. It applies to this and applies to that. You know, then what is the greatest common factor? We see that is 16. 16. But anyway, how are we? Of course, it's not every time we come and start doing it like this. Okay, we have to have a standard way of just finding the GCF, period, so that we won't waste time on solving problems. So we will talk about that. Okay. You know, we're gonna look at two methods of of solving or factoring by GCF. I will teach you 2 methods. And whichever method you like, you choose. Factor, and usually the question is like this. They will just ask you factor completely. That's what they will ask. They won't tell you factor by GCF, or factor by grouping, or factor by difference of 2 squares. That is not what the question will say. The question will just say factor completely. Now, what is the skills? What are the skills they are testing? I want you, by the time I finish this video, to be able to look at a polynomial or a function, okay? Look at it and tell me how you will break it up, how you will factor it. Tell me what method you will use. And then we are going to review all these as we go on. GCF is the most important method, yeah, but I would like you to be able to look at any one and tell me what method you will use. That is the skills that that is what I expect you to know. Then, as we go through each method, we shall look at it to see what we will do. And then we can kind of do another video whereby we just give you, right now this video is just GCF. But later we'll do a video whereby we'll just give you any polynomial or any function and tell you just factor it, and then you have to know which method to use. So that is the thing. Now, question 1, let's say 12a plus 8b. So this is a polynomial, it's a binomial. And how are you going to break it up? How will you break it up? We're going to use GCF. We'll do 2 ways. The first way you can do is you write 12a, and then you kind of get prime factorization. Like we did these videos on factors and multiples. Please, that video is important. So if we find a prime factorization of 12, it will give us a 2. You start from the smallest. We just don't want 1. 1 is a factor of everything. Let's not put 1. Okay? The after 1 is 2. 12 divided 2 is 6. We write 2 again. Okay? Because we want it prime numbers. Prime numbers. And besides, 1 is not a prime number. Besides, 1 is not a prime number. Okay? So we have 2. Then we have 12 divided by 2 is 6. And 2 can still go again. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay? Then times A. Times A. Right? Times A. Okay. Then 8B. 8B will be, we have 2 times. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So we still have 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Then times B. Right? So we looked at the GCF. GCF will be the common factors. We just highlight the common factors. And let me kind of use another marker to do that. 2 and 2 is common here. We are not interested in uncommon factors. We are only interested in common factors. Only interested in common factors. Only. Not anything that is not common. So this is common. 2 and 2 is common again. You see, that is all we have. So this will be, if it's common on both of them, call it 1 time. 2 times, here 2. Right? This A and B is not, they are not common anymore. So the GCF is 4. So you will now say that this, if you want to split it up, you now write 4 parentheses. What is remaining here? What is remaining here? 3A. 3A, then plus, because this is plus. You might want to put your plus here. You might want to put your plus here. Okay, 3A plus, what is remaining here? 2B. And this becomes your answer right here. That is it. That's your answer. Now, but you know, if you're still learning math, then you can be trying this. You can be using this. Otherwise, as you solve more, I would want you to be able to look at it and tell me the GCF. I would want you to be able to look at it and tell me the GCF. That is what I want. That is my expectation. I don't expect you all the time to do this, but you can start with this, okay, till you build up in math. You have to solve math every day. You have to practice it every day, every day, every day, every day, so that you can get the skills, okay? This is one method. If you don't like this method, we can have another method. This is the first method that you can use. Another method you can use, second method. And this method is kind of, you know, like neater. Would I say it's neater? In this second method, we want to kind of do it one at a time. We do the numbers first, and we do the variables. Okay, we do numbers first, and then we do variables. So let's kind of do numbers first. We have a 12 and 8, 12 and 8. Okay, and let's draw a line here. So how this works is we look at only the factors that can divide 12 and divide 8. Anything that can divide 12 and divide 8. We start with the smallest, 2. Okay, 2. Then 2 divide 12 is 6. 2 divide 8 is 4. Right? You do it again. We still have another factor, something that can divide both 6 and 4. And that is a 2 again. 2 divide 6 is 3. 2 divide 4 is 2. Now, do we have something that can divide 3 and divide 2? No. Nothing. Okay? Nothing anymore. So, you stop here. Okay? You just stop here for the numbers. This is just for numbers. So what you might want to do is to just draw a double line. Draw double line. Okay? Draw double line. And the last one here whereby you stopped, just you can circle it. You can circle it because that is what you're going to use. Then you look at we do variables. We do the variables again. Variables now. And we have A and B. We don't have any common factor in A and B. So we just stop right here. Because we don't have any common factor. Besides 1, let's forget about 1. So, you go ahead and circle it again. Okay? You kind of want to circle it so that you know that is what you want to pick to go with it. Okay? So, whatever that is here, 2 times 2 is 4. Is 4, so we put 4 parentheses. What is remaining here? Okay? And you know the sign. Make sure you look at the sign. If you want to put the sign here, that is up to you. If you want to put the sign here, that is up to you. Okay? So you look at the sign here. What is remaining here is 3A. Then this sign here. Plus. And then what is remaining here? 2B. And that becomes your answer. That is it. Okay? Question 2. Question 2. 15p squared plus 6p. Factor this. Let's do it with the 2 methods. And you can kind of pause and try it on your own first before you play it again. So this will be 15p squared will be 2 cannot go. 3, you put 3 times 15 divided by 3 is 5. So 5 is prime too. Okay, 3 is prime. You start with the smallest prime. 2 cannot divide 15 without a remainder. So the next prime, the next smallest prime number is 3. And 15 divided by 3, 5. And 5 is also prime. So you stop. Times p times p. Then 6p, you start with 2. 2 times 6 divided by 2, 3. 3 is prime. Then times p. So the GCF now, the GCF will be whatever is common. What is common? we see that 3 and 3 is common. Okay, we have 3 and 3. Whatever is common on both, carry one time. And then P and P. Okay, so we now have 3 times P, which is 3P. 3 times P, which is 3P. So this will now be equal to 3P times, what is remaining here? 5P, then plus. If you want to put plus here, that is up to you. Okay, this plus is this plus, which is also this plus. Plus 2, that is it. And this becomes your answer here. Okay? I mean, that is just how you do it, you know. But with time, you know, I want you to be able to look at it and just do it, and, you know, able to look at it and solve it right away. Yeah. We can also use second method for this. If we have to use second method for this, we do our numbers first. 15 and 6. What can divide 15 and divide 6? 2 cannot go, so 3. So 3 will give us what? 5 and 2. Do we have what can divide 5 and what can divide 2? Nothing else. So we just kind of underline this. Let's do double lines here, and let's circle this that we will use it. Okay, then we do the next one for the variables, P squared and then P. What can divide P squared and still divide P? We see is P. Okay, and if P does that, P divide P squared is P. P divide P is 1. What can divide P and still divide 1? Nothing anymore. So we now circle this, that we are going to use it. Okay? So what is the GCF is 3 times P, which is 3P, parenthesis. 5 times P, 5P. This plus is this plus. If you want to put plus here, that's up to you. Okay? Some folks might want to put plus there so that they will know that it's plus. You can do that. And then 2 times 1, 2. And that still gives you the answer. That's use the second method. So which method do you like? The first or the second? You tell me. Then 3, 27PQ minus 36Q. Oh, okay? So if we kind of do 27PQ, right? It's going to give us what? 2 cannot go 3 times 27 divided by 3, 9. So 9, you can divide it by 3 again. 9 divided by 3, 3 again. Times P times Q. Then this is minus. This is your minus here. 36Q will be, you start with 2. 36 divided by 2, 18. 18 can still be divided by 2, gives you 9. 9 can be divided by 3 and gives you 3, right? 2 times 2, 4, times 3, 12, times 3, 36. You might want to multiply it to make sure that you got it right. You might want to do that, okay? Then times Q, times Q. So this will be what now? What would this be? The GCF will be, we see that 2 is not here, 3 and 3 is common. So we have 3 and 3 here, okay? 3 and 3 here is common. We have 3 and 3 here. And then Q and Q is common. Q and Q here. So the GCF will be 3 times 3 times Q, which is 9Q. GCF is 9Q. So this will be 9Q parenthesis. What is remaining here? 3P. 3P, then minus, what is remaining here? 4. And this becomes your answer. For the sake of time, we are just going to use one method and do this, okay? For the sake of time, yeah. Question 4. 12d cubed minus 10d squared. So this will be 12d cubed is 2 times 2 times 3 times d times d times d. Minus 10d squared will be 2 times 5 times d times d. So the GCF will be 2, pick it, dd, pick it, dd, pick it. GCF will be 2 times d, which is 2d squared. So this will now give us equal to 2d squared, parentheses, 2 times 3, 6 times d, 6d, minus 5. 6d minus 5, and this becomes yours. That becomes yours. Okay? Question 5. 24x cubed y squared plus 36x squared y. Okay? So what's the GCF or GCD of 24x cubed y squared? That is 2 times 2, 4 times 2, 8 times 3, 24 times x times x times x times y. Okay? 36x squared y will be 2 times 18, 2, 9, 3, 3. Okay? 4 times 3, 12 times 3, 36 times x times y. Right? So the GCF is going to be what? GCF will be 2, 2, pick, 2, 2, pick, 3, 3, pick, XX, pick, XX, pick, YY, pick. So GCF will be 2 times 3 times x times y. 2 times 2, 4 times 3, 12. 12x squared y. So this will be 12x squared y. You see, we're splitting it. You see, that's factoring, split it up. So we split it. This is a binomial. We split it into monomial times what is remaining here, 2xy, then this is plus. Okay, this is plus 3. 2xy plus 3. 2x squared y, 2xy plus 3, yeah. 12x squared y is the GCF, parentheses, 2xy plus 3. And look at the nice thing here. You know, we've split this binomial into a monomial and a binomial. Look at the nice thing here, which I didn't mention earlier. If you want to check this, okay, if you want to check it, if you do 12x squared y times 2xy plus 3, right? If you check it, okay, this will be 12x squared y times 2xy. You know, the way I did polynomial, multiplication of polynomials, I like doing my vertical method. Then 12x squared y times 3. So this will be 24x cubed y squared, and this is 36x squared y. So you add it up, that will give you 24x cubed y squared plus 36x squared y. It will give you back, it's going to give you back your binomial. If you know, this is marriage. You're multiplying. You multiply a monomial and a binomial, gives you a binomial. That is marriage. Then factoring, divorce. You split it up, it gives you back a monomial and a binomial. Okay? Question 6. 15 n4 n squared minus 45 n5 n4. Okay, we want to be fast now, you know. If you look at this, you know, sometimes when you look at it, you look at the numbers, you see that 15 is a factor of 45. 15 times 3 gives you 45. So evidently, when you look at this, you know that 15 will be the GCF. Evidently. Okay? Because 15 is a factor of itself, it's a factor of 15. 15 is also a factor of 45, and that's the highest, and that's the greatest common factor. So this is 15, right? Then M4, M5, right? M4 is included in M5, so the GCF will be M4, right? Then N squared, N4. N squared is inside N4. N4 is, N squared is a factor of N squared, and it's also a factor of N4. So this is N squared. So this will be the GCF right away. When you look at some problems, I want you to be able to, I don't want you every time to come and write this, unless you're practicing. But my goal for you is to be able to look at it and write it right away. Right away. So this will be 1, because 15m4n squared divided by 15m4n squared. That gives you 1. Nothing will remain. And nothing is remaining. We don't write 0. No. Because if you write 0, that will be 0. Nothing will remain. You don't write 0. You write 1. Okay? Minus 45 divided by 15 is what? 3. M5 divided by M4 is what? M. N4 divided by N squared is what? N squared. And this becomes your answer. Now, let me explain this, because some students get confused here. Look, if you have 15 M4 N squared, this is a 2 cannot go, 3 times 5 times M times M times M times M times N times N. Then minus, then you have 45 M5 M4, and that will be 2, no, 3, okay, 15, 3 again, 5, okay, M times N times M times N times N, then times N times N times N times N. Okay, so GCF will be 3, 3, count, peak, 5, 5, peak, MM, peak, MM, peak, MM, peak, MM, peak, NN, peak, NN, peak. So you see, it is all of this. 3 times 5 times M times M times M times M times N times N, which gives you back 15 M4 N squared. Okay? So now, this is going to now give you, there is nothing remaining here. Please don't write it as 0. And don't come and say don't write anything. No, you got to write something. 1. Okay, that is the thing now you need to learn. 15m4 n squared. If nothing is remaining here, you have to put 1. Okay, then minus, what is remaining here? 3m n squared. 3m n squared. Yeah, but you better put 1. Because, let me explain to you why you put 1. Another way to look at it is this. Look at another way to look at it. When you bring out the GCF, okay, this means, and I explained this in factoring quadratic trinomials. I explained it in that video. This means, when you bring this out, this means 15m4n squared divided by 15m4n squared. Okay? So this will be 15 divided 15, m4, n squared divided n squared. That gives you equal to 1. 15 divided 15 is 1. You can't say 0. No. Then this one means negative 45 m5 n4 over 15 m4 n squared. 15 divided 15 is 1. 15 divided 45 is 3. Then this is 4 and 5, okay? 5 minus 4 will give you 1 anyway. So 1 will remain here. Then 2 and 4. 4 minus 2 will give you 2. So this will be negative 3mn squared. And you just join it. 1 minus 3mn squared. That is it. Okay? Next question. Question 7. 6k5 minus 18k cubed plus 24k. If you look at this, just look at it and tell me the GCF. 6, 18, and 24, come on. I mean, 6 is a factor of all of them. So 6 is the GCF right away. Okay? Then k5, k cubed, k. Look at it. I mean, it tells you that it's k. GCF is, is a factor of itself, and it is included in all of them. In all of them, it's a factor of all of them. So this is 6k. 6k, and this will remain k5, 6 divided by 6 is 1, k5 divided by k is k4, then minus 18 divided by 6, 3, k cubed divided by k is k squared, then plus 24 divided by 6 is 4, and k divided by k is 1. And this becomes your answer. That is it. That is it. That is it. If you multiply this monomial and the trinomial, it gives you back the trinomial. Okay? Question 8. 9y squared minus 17y4 plus 21y5. Okay, let's look at the numbers now. 9, 17, and 21. 17 is a prime number anyway. So, because 17 is a prime number, it doesn't even have any common, besides 1. The only common factor in 9, 17, and 21 is 1. Yeah, so 17 has made it a problem. So, it doesn't even have a common factor for the numbers. For the numbers now, for the numbers. Let's go to the variables. Y squared, y4, y5. What is included in all of them is y squared. So, this will be y squared. What is remaining here is 9 minus 17y squared, because y4 divided by y squared is y squared. Please view the videos on exponents. View the videos on exponents. The video playlist on exponents is important. Then a plus 21y cubed. And this becomes your answer. Question 9. 8 c5d cubed plus 6 c4 d5 minus 12 c squared d4. Then look at the c5, c4, c squared. C squared. D cubed, d5, d4. D cubed. Okay, what is remaining? 8 divided by 2, 4. C5 divided by c squared, c cubed. D cubed divided by d cubed, 1. Leave it. Okay? Don't come here and start writing 1. Don't do that. I know some folks might do that. Don't do that. Then plus, this plus is this plus, okay? This plus is this plus. 6 divided by 2 is what? 3. C4 divided by c squared. I don't mean c4. I don't mean the one you might be thinking. Divided by c squared is c squared. D5 divided by d cubed is d squared. Right? Then this minus is minus. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Okay? C squared divided by c squared is 1. Please don't write 1 here. Then d4 divided by d cubed is d1, which is d. Some folks write 1 here. Doesn't matter, okay? But we don't want to put 1. We don't want to do that. And this becomes your answer. That becomes your answer. Okay? That's it. If you look at it, you know, how you would tell that you have done a good factoring is that when you look at this now, there's nothing common anymore. Nothing common. Nothing common anymore. Nothing common. You have just factored that by GCF. Factoring by GCF. Okay? Question 10. M times n minus 1 plus 7 times n minus 1. Okay. You look at this. You look at this. What is common? Okay. Now you see, when I teach this, you can do it horizontal method. You can do it horizontal method. I'm gonna teach this two ways. If you have it like horizontal method like this, you see that here you're looking at this, and then you're looking at this. Okay? The times is the term. First term is n times n minus 1. And second term is 7 times n minus 1. Term. Okay? And it's joined by an addition sign. So, what is common in this first term and second term, you see is n minus 1 is common. Okay? And then we can, if you like to put bracket, that's good. You don't do n times n minus 1 divided by n minus 1. I'll show you here. M times n minus 1 divided by n minus 1. So this cancels out and you have only m. So you have only m. Then plus, plus 7 times n minus 1 divided by n minus 1. And you have plus 7. And that's the answer. I mean, you can now write it as n minus 1 times n plus 7. Okay? Now, if you don't like it this way, see another way that I like. Okay, see another way that I like. You can come and write it like this. N times n minus 1. You can write it n times n minus 1 if you want to do it like this to see the GCF. 7 times n minus 1 is 7 times n minus 1. So the GCF actually is, bam bam, this is the common. Pick. GCF is n minus 1. That is it. So you now have GCF n minus 1, then what is remaining? N minus 1, then what is remaining here is m, then this is plus anyway, so plus 7, and that is it. I mean, so it's just another way to look at it. And look at it that way. Okay? Alright, we have 2 more questions to go. Question 11, it comes next. 5x times a minus b plus y times a minus b. So a minus b is common. So we have a minus b is common, and then you have 5x plus y. That is it. Just it. That is solid. P times p minus 1 minus 3 times p minus 1. So what is the GCF? It's p minus 1, and then what is remaining here? P, then minus 3. That is it. Okay, we're going to stop here for tonight. Please watch out for other videos. The next video will be factoring by grouping. Okay? Thank you so much, students, for listening to this presentation.